Today we'll discuss about chemistry English version assignment answer 8th week. I have already published SSC 7th week English version assignment also in my channel. Go check it out. The title of chemistry assignment is Report on how the compounds follow octet or duet rule while forming their formation process solubility in water and their electric conductivity. The subject code is 137. So let's get Bismillah. This is a cover letter of report. Here you can see to the head teacher school name, Chirang Bangladesh. Subject, report on how the compounds follow octet or duet rule while forming their formation process solubility, blah blah blah. And dear sir, you sincerely have prepared a report on how the compounds, the title should be written here. So the final report is here. Title of the report, to follow the octet and duet rules during the formation of compound process of their formation and solubility and the electrical conductivity. Types of the report is educational report, name of reporter, your name, and the date of the reporting is your submission date. So we have answered the 4 question. Question number A. In question number A, we have to explain the octet and duet rule. The 2 compounds mentioned. 2 compounds are methane and edible salt. In this tutorial, I'll try to explain the whole assignment with the mixing of Bangla and English because my English is not so much rich at all. Okay. Octet rule. According to the octet rule, atoms want to be connected to each other in such a way that each of their atoms has 8 electrons in the last shell. অর্থাৎ শেষ শক্তি স্তরে তাদের 8টা ইলেকট্রন থাকে এমন ভাবে তারা ইলেকট্রন কনফিগারেশনটা করতে চায়। The sodium and the chlorine of the fourth salt, sodium chloride mentioned above, form bonds through the exchange of electrons. Sodium এবং ক্লোরিন তারা ইলেকট্রন এক্সচেঞ্জ করে একটা বন্ড তৈরি করে। Here you can see the electron configuration of sodium and chlorine. The electron number of sodium is 11. 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. And chlorine 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p5. Here the number of electrons in the last energy level of chlorine atom is 7. Here you can see 2 plus 5 is 7. According to the octet rule, the chlorine needs 1 more electron to fulfill the octet. Okay. On the other hand, we can see that the sodium has only 1 electron at the last energy level. So the number of electrons in the last energy level is 1. If the sodium atom can donate this electron to the chlorine, the 8 electrons of its previous energy level will achieve stability. Here you can see, if sodium donates this electron, the 8 electron of the previous energy level will follow the octet rule and it will achieve the stability. It is here that the sodium and chlorine atoms make table salt by exchanging electrons according to the octet regulation. They give and take their electrons here. Look at the figures. Here you can see sodium has 1 last electron at the last energy level and chlorine has lacking of 1 electron last energy level. So sodium give this electron to chlorine and it turns into sodium plus ion, and chlorine accepts this electron and it turns into chlorine negative ion. Duet rule is similar as octet rule, just the electron number is 2. According to the duet rule, atoms want to be connected to each other in such a way that each of their atoms has 2 electrons in the last energy level. অর্থাৎ তাদের ইলেকট্রন শেলে 2টা ইলেকট্রনের জন্য তারা এদিক সেদিক ছোটাছুটি করে। Here in the case of methane, molecules bonds formed according to the duet rule. Electron configuration of carbon and hydrogen, we can see carbon, the electron number is 6, 1s2 2s2 2p2, the total electron number is 6, and hydrogen 1, 1s1. Here you can see that the number of electrons at the last shell of carbon is 4. According to the octet rule, carbon needs 4 more electrons to fulfill the octet rule and it will achieve stability. On the other hand, hydrogen has only 1 electron. And hydrogen needs 1 more electron for achieving a stability. In this situation, 4 hydrogen atoms share their last energy levels electron with 1 carbon to make up for their electron deficiency. No ions are formed here as the exchange of electrons doesn't take place, and this kind of bond is called covalent bond. That means ions are not exchanged they are sharing each other. Here you can see carbon has 4 electrons at the last energy level and hydrogen has only 1. Hydrogen needs 1 electron to fulfill duet rule, carbon needs 4 electrons to fulfill the octet rule. So they both shares their electron each other. Here you can see that carbon shares his electron, hydrogen shares his electrons. Hydrogen 1, 2, he fulfills his duet rule, carbon fulfills his octet rules here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or hydrogen 1, 2. Thus carbon plus 4 hydrogen forms methane gas. Question number B. In question number B, we have to explain the process of forming covalent bond in the methane molecule and its solubility in water. What is covalent bond? Covalent bond means sharing of electron. A bond that is made with the sharing of electrons. According to the STEM, the main component of natural gas methane covalently bonds between carbon and hydrogen. Let's see the electron configuration of carbon and hydrogen. We previously explained this. Here in the case of electron configuration in the energy level of a carbon atom, we see that 4 more electrons are needed to fill the octet. Hydrogen needs only 1 electron to fill the duet rule. So according to the duet rule, hydrogen atoms will gain stability only when it receives another electron. As a result, the carbon atoms shares its 4 electrons with the 4 hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen forms the covalent compound methane through a covalent bond. Look at the picture. Carbon has 4 electrons in its last energy level and hydrogen has only 1 electron in its last energy level. Hydrogen needs 1 more electron and carbon needs 4 more electrons to follow the octet rule. In this situation, hydrogen and carbon shares their electron to each other to form a bond. The bond is called covalent bond. Here hydrogen fulfilled his duet and the carbon fulfilled his octet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and hydrogen 1, 2. Now we will discuss about the solubility of covalent bonds or covalent compound methane. Methane molecule is a nonpolar compound. There is no partial positivity sigma plus or no partial negativity between the atoms due to electronegativity is formed here. On the other hand, water is a polar compound where the difference in electronegativity between the shared electron is observed. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity means the attraction between the shared electron. Here you can see these are the shared electrons. So the attraction of hydrogen to the shared electron is called hydrogen's electronegativity. The attraction of carbon to the shared electron is called carbon's electronegativity. So due to this difference, hydrogen atoms are partially positive and oxygen atoms are partially negative charged in water molecules. Let's have a look at the picture. This is water molecules. Oxygen have its own electronegativity and it's very high than the hydrogen. এখানে যে ইলেকট্রনগুলো ছিল এই ইলেকট্রনগুলোর মধ্যে অক্সিজেনের ইলেকট্রোনেগেটিভিটিটা ছিল বেশি, এজন্য এইখানকার ইলেকট্রনগুলো একটু অক্সিজেনের দিকে সরে যায়। ইলেকট্রনগুলো যে অক্সিজেনের দিকে চলে গেছে ইলেকট্রনটা পার্শিয়ালি নেগেটিভ হয়ে যায় অ্যান্ড হাইড্রোজেন থেকে যে ইলেকট্রন সরে গেছে এই জন্য হাইড্রোজেনটা পার্শিয়ালি পজিটিভ হয়ে যায়। বাট দ্য নলপোলার অ্যাটমিক কম্পাউন্ডস মিথেন ইজ নট অ্যাট্রাক্টেড টু দ্য ওয়াটার। এই যে দেখো এখানে হচ্ছে মিথেন, এখানে কোনো পার্শিয়ালি পজিটিভিটি নেগেটিভিটি ক্রিয়েট হয় না। তো এখানে যেহেতু পজিটিভিটি নেগেটিভিটি নাই, এরা এই আয়নগুলোর সাথে অ্যাট্রাক্টেড হয় না। দ্যাটস ওয়াই মিথেন ইজ ইনসলিউবল ইন ওয়াটার। নাও কোয়েশ্চন নাম্বার সি। In question number C, we have to explain the process of forming ionic bond in edible salt and its solubility in water. So what is ionic bond? Ionic bond is a bond where electrons are exchanged. Ionic bond is formed in food salt from the mentioned information. We can see that the process of formation of ionic bonds of table salt and the concept of solubility in water is explained below. Let's have a look at the electron configuration of sodium and chlorine. We have previously explained this electron configuration. Here in sodium, the number of electrons at last energy level is 1. According to the octet rule, sodium can take over the nearest inert gas neon's electron configuration and achieve stability only by donating the last electron. অর্থাৎ এখানে যে সোডিয়ামের লাস্ট ইলেকট্রনটা ছিল এটা যদি সে ডোনেট করে দেয় তাহলে সে তার নিকটবর্তী নিষ্ক্রিয় গ্যাস হচ্ছে নিয়নের ইলেকট্রন বিন্যাস টা অ্যাচিভ করতে পারবে। নিওনের ইলেকট্রন বিন্যাস হচ্ছে 1s2 নিওনের তো ইলেকট্রন সংখ্যা 10টি, তাই না? On the other hand, chlorine needs one more electron to fulfill the octet rule. We have previously explained this, you know that. This electron is taken from the sodium atom by chlorine. Here, sodium atom donates electron and forms cation or positive ion. Chlorine atom receives the electron and forms negative ion or anion. Sodium donates the electron, forms sodium cation or positive ion. Chlorine receives that electron and forms anion or negative ion. And sodium plus chlorine, both they forms sodium ion and chlorine ion and forms sodium chloride. This is the structural formation of this compound. This is sodium. It has one last electron in the last energy shell, and chlorine needs one more electron to fulfill its octet rule. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Sodium donates this electron to chlorine, and that forms sodium positive ion and chlorine negative ion. Chlorine receives the electron. Here you can see the electron number is 8, the electron number is 8. Both of them followed octet rule and formed sodium chloride. Now we'll discuss about the solubility of ionic bond, ionic compound. Water is a polar compound. We know that partially positive and partially negative side is formed in water due to the electronegativity. And when ionic compounds are added to this polar compound, the positive edge of water molecules attracts the negative edge of ionic compound. Similarly, the negative edge of water molecule attracts the positive edge or cation of the ionic compound. অর্থাৎ সোডিয়াম ক্লোরাইডের যে পজিটিভ আয়নটা ছিল সেটা পানির নেগেটিভ আয়নটাকে অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে, আর সোডিয়াম ক্লোরাইডের যে নেগেটিভ আয়ন যেটা ক্লোরিন আয়ন সেটা পানির পজিটিভ আয়নকে অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে। When the value of this attraction force exceeds the attraction between the cation and anion of the ionic compound, the anion and the cation are separated from each other and surrounded by water molecules. The salt is dissolved in water. অর্থাৎ হচ্ছে কি সোডিয়াম আর ক্লোরাইনের মধ্যে যে অ্যাট্রাকশনটা ছিল তাদের আয়নগুলোর মধ্যে, আর সোডিয়াম যখন পানিতে যায় তখন পানির আয়নগুলোর সাথে যে খাবার লবণের আয়নগুলোর যে অ্যাট্রাকশন ফোর্স এটা যদি বেশি হয়ে যায় তখন সোডিয়াম ক্লোরাইডের সোডিয়াম এবং ক্লোরিনগুলো সেপারেট হয়ে যায়। সেপারেট হয়ে গিয়ে তারা পানির অণুর সাথে মিশে গিয়ে তারা দ্রবীভূত হয়ে যায় পানিতে। ফাইনালি কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার ডি। In question number D, we have to explain the electrical conductivity of two compounds properly with figures. So let's try this. We have previously discussed that we need isolated positive and negative ions to conduct electricity. Edible salt produces a sodium ion and chlorine ion, so it can conduct electricity. It's simple. Sodium produces sodium plus and chlorine minus ion. If we dip a pair of graphite bar that is called electrode with attaching a valve and battery, we can see that the bulb will light up. Let's have a look at the picture. Here you can see the light is lighten up. This is graphite, this is graphite, this is the solution of sodium chloride. Sodium positive ion attracts the graphite, sodium chlorine negative ion attracts the graphite, positively ionized graphite. This is a picture of transmission of electricity in aqueous solution of edible salt. Now let's see the transmission in covalent compound. Covalent compound cannot conduct electricity in aqueous solution. What's the reason? Reason is they can't create any isolated ion, and we need isolated ion to conduct electricity. So, and if there is no ion in solution, it will never be able to conduct electricity. That is why covalent compound cannot conduct electricity or transmit electricity. See the picture? No lights. So this is your 8th week chemistry assignment answer. I have tried my best. If you have any problems with this answer, please comments below and join our Facebook page, subscribe our channel to get the latest educational updates. Thank you.